babies and babies too.
Toilet training is all about having fun. Sometimes we need to think like a child and act a little bit silly. In this episode, Jumping JJ's is our sponsor. Watch further to find out more information. In this episode, we'll be discussing how important it is to toilet train by 2 years of age. By doing this, you avoid all the known associated problems with late toilet training, which is actually after 2 that research is showing us. And we help you through this by using our Parent Go Potty Packs for the home and linking it with our Childcare Centre TOT system, Team Orientated Toilet Training. By doing this, we're creating that consistency and giving your child the best chance for success by allowing them to be consistent between home and the centre.
Mistake number 5. Believing you need the toilet train after 2 years of age.
You can't toilet train a child until they're at least 2. You might as well wait until they're 3 or 4 or 5.
Toilet training tends to be the most conflicting information available for parents for any child rearing situation. Wherever you look in this particular case with regards to toilet training and when to start, again, it's everywhere you look. The media, the internet, advertisements on TV, they're all telling you wait until your child's ready, they'll be dry in their own time, and in particular they're not capable of doing it before 2 and various things like that. I'm glad my 4-month-old did not pay attention to this. I started my second child after making all the mistakes with my first. I started him at 4 months old, and I have not had to change a pre-nappy with him since 5 months old. And further research highlighted that in the 1920s, we used to start toilet training around your 3 months old, pop them on the potty, because it was too inconvenient to have them in the cloth nappies. Disposable nappies obviously has changed all of this, hence now they're making nappies for 5-year-olds. So this is where we really need to pay attention to what used to happen and what is happening now, because we are waiting later and later. And the good news is though that research is starting to back this up. They're showing by the University of New South Wales did a research program, and it highlighted that our window of opportunity is actually the 18 to 24 months to start the process, because after that time you tend to have a lot of challenges, and they aren't that common that they're the same ones each time that parents are experiencing, mainly the poo challenge, running away and hiding to poo, various things like that. Because if you think about it, it's what we teach them for 2.5 years of their life. The longer we leave it, the longer the bad habit is established. So subsequently, going back to the more common sense principles, we're just reinforcing that bad habit over and over again. The earlier we start, subsequently, we avoid those situations. Teach our baby to sit to poo right from the beginning. We teach our toddlers to stand to poo. Hence, like I said, so many poo challenges around the age where they can say no really well. So that's where it comes back to more of a common sense approach than anything else. Start a little bit earlier, they get to practice, get their muscles moving earlier like they should, and we don't have a situation at the terrible 2s where they can say no really well and just avoid those sorts of situations and challenges arrive just because of battle of wills.
Mistake number 6. Delay starting. Use your rash
I love rational lies. Don't you, Tracy?
No, I don't. There's three main ones I'm going to cover in particular that are quite common with regards to what we tell ourselves. I will start when the weather is warmer. In that particular situation, it is dictating that toilet training is dependent on the seasons. And yes, it can be a little bit easier with less clothes on in summer to do the toilet training process, but it's certainly not a valid excuse if it means that you'll be waiting 6 months or more to start your child and they're over 2 years of age when that happens. I've heard a mum say to me before, which made so much sense to me as well. She said, in winter, they basically are going to be colder and more uncomfortable. So they'll tend to then want to move away from that situation and get toilet trained quicker because they don't like it. So there is that other reason behind it as well. Don't use it as an excuse. Toilet training is not dependent on the seasons. The second one, I will start after the baby is born in case they regress. If you're going to make up something, I believe you might as well make it up positive rather than negative. What if your child doesn't regress? In the situation with regards to whenever I get that question, do I start after my baby is born or before? My answer to that always is, are you going to have more time before the bub or after the bub? But basically, if you set the right foundation right from the beginning with regards to toilet training, that then allows them a situation where there's a good chance they won't regress. If you do have a child that does have a cautious personality and there may be elements of that there, again, any form of regression is easily nipped in the bud by basically going back to that foundation that worked in the beginning anyway. So take the premise that your child won't regress and don't use it as an excuse. The third one, I will start toilet training once my child can walk or talk. So many parents say to me, oh, my child isn't talking yet, so I can't start, or they're not walking yet, etc. Again, toilet training is not dependent on either one of these principles. The fact that I started my 4-month-old on the potty and he was indicating to me that he needed to go through crying out and various methods like that, it doesn't matter. I would place him on the potty as well. He couldn't walk or couldn't talk, but either way we still didn't have to change a pre-nappy with him since 5 months old. So it's certainly not something that you need to make up as a reason as to not to start. As you would know, your child can communicate to you in so many other ways outside of just talking. The forms of communication through just letting you know, shaking their head, etc. Indicating by actually going themselves. So please don't use this one as an excuse either. It's not necessary. You can start your child regardless of that particular situation.
The consistency. What we would be doing here, the families would be doing at home. So the child's getting the same message. So ultimately, it's nothing that we do here is going to be undone because it's the same thing happening throughout every day, including weekends. I think the success for the children. Ultimately, they're going to come out on top because they know what's going on. You know, kids need consistency. They need to know that they're getting the same message on board and what's happening when. And with this, it's, I guess you could say, flawless. Absolutely. So there's a big family feel on the Early Years Learning Framework. So with this pack, ultimately we're working with the families. We're including the families in the service with the toilet training, and the families are taking what the service is using to their home. So definitely putting it out there in the community and working together with the families is a huge emphasis. I know there's one child in the toddler 1 room. I believe he is 17 months and he has been using the Go Potty Pack and the TOP program for a week and a half, and he is 100% successful with his toilet training, and he wants to go to the toilet whether he needs to go or not. So just seeing the reaction from the kids is great, and the relief from mum and dad that the process that a lot of families dread has been made so simple and fast that they can't believe that their child responded as quickly as he did and is having the success that he's having in a week and a half. It sells itself. It really does. They come and they ask questions. What's it about? Why would you do it? All you have to do is say it makes it fun. It's making toilet training fun for the kids. It doesn't make it a negative experience for them. It makes them want to go. And families seem to just jump on board.
What do you think of the castle, darling? Who else wants to say something? What do you think, Samantha? What do you like best? What do you like best about the castle? Dylan.
I like the best in the castle, and I like the mouth.
You like the mouth? What does the mouth do?
Shut up and shut up and shut up.
Did you get eaten?
No.
And what do you think, Will?
Because of the bacon, I kept falling over.
Oh dear.
And I keep crashing all the time.
Did you?
Yeah.
And what did you think, Maya?
It was good.
Why?
Because
Ah, that sounded pretty awesome.
yeah.
What do you think of the Jumping JD's castle?
Our wonderful sponsors for this episode is Jumping JJ's Castle Hire. As you can see, kids have loads of fun using them. And they too are also giving back to the community and working with childcare centres. You can actually organise a free jumping castle to the value of $270 for your centre. Click on the link on the Pottytrain.tv website and find out how, and organise a free jumping castle for your child for your centre today. Thank you, Jumping JJs.